Alright guys, I'm back with my review of this week's WWE Monday Night Raw for May 27th, 2013. And they show a video for Memorial Day to open the show. And the show was in Canada, which is really strange. Surely they thought this out, but it's in Canada. Cena comes out and says there's a lot of controversy about who should be the WWE Champion after Extreme Rules. But why is there a lot of controversy? I mean, why does he feel he should be champion? I can understand why Ryback would feel that way. I mean, he walked out, but Cena couldn't walk out. He was stretchered out. So it doesn't really make sense. It just makes Cena look like a bigger dick for thinking he should still be the champion. But he says we get a "We Want Bret" chant too. And Cena says he wants a 3 stages of hell match. Lumberjack, tables, and the 3rd stage will be the ambulance match. So Ryback comes out and says he tried taking Cena to hell. Say hello to Beelzebub. Say hello to Lucifer. Say hello to Satan. Say hello to Ryback. Yeah, these Ryback promos are awesome. They seem crazy, like old... Not as crazy as old Ultimate Warrior promos, but they seem really out there sometimes. And it's great. So Heyman comes out with Curtis Axel, and they changed his music. And I wouldn't say it sucks now, but it was so awesome before. And everybody was talking about how great it was, and it was just a really cool remix of the Mr. Perfect theme. Why change that? So Heyman tells Cena that he's a fighting champion, so tonight, how about you face Curtis Axel? And Cena tells Axel he needs to get rid of Heyman, and Axel says, we didn't come here to talk, we came here to fight. And he was pretty bad on the mic, but Cena accepts the challenge. It's Del Rio versus Big E. AJ takes the turnbuckle off, and Del Rio gets Big E in the arm breaker. Big E powers out, gets shoved into the steel, and Del Rio rolls him up for the win. And afterwards, AJ's all pissed off at Big E, even though she's the one that took the turnbuckle off. And I know they have plans to turn Big E face and probably go on a feud with Dolph. But man, they're moving really fast with this. I didn't expect them to turn face this soon. Daniel Bryan's backstage, and he's still freaking out about Kane thinking he's the weak link. And Bret Hart shows up and tells them they're a great team, and they're better than this, and that Daniel Bryan is one of the best superstars he's ever seen. It's Ambrose versus Kofi for the U.S. title. Ambrose trips Kofi on the apron. He falls and hits the steps. Ambrose rolls him in and hits the DDT move for the win. It was a pretty good match. Immediately after, Team Hell No runs out, and we get the tag match with Team Hell No versus Rollins and Reigns for the tag titles. And the fans start chanting JBL. They start chanting Michael Cole. They're still trying to outdo the Jersey crowd. And it's just, they didn't even acknowledge it on the mics this time. Like Cole and JBL and Lawler didn't even mention it. I mean, no one cares anymore. It's over. Stop trying to do it. I mean, I'm glad the fans are making noise and stuff, but it's more to put themselves over, and no one gives a shit anymore. I mean, you're not going to top that crowd, so what are you doing? But anyways, Daniel Bryan gets a hot tag. We see the new vicious Daniel Bryan, which was great. Seth Rollins puts Bryan in the surfboard, but Bryan powers out. Kane gets a hot tag. Bryan goes after Reigns on the outside, and Kane tells him to get back to your corner. And Daniel Bryan doesn't listen. He's pissed off. He's in his zone, I guess. And he goes for the running knee on Reigns and gets speared. And then Rollins hits Kane with the knee off the top rope for the win. This was a great match. I thought the finish was a little weak, but it was still a really good match. They tell us that Triple H should be on Raw next week. It's Wade Barrett versus Fandango with Miz as special referee. I like the new Wade Barrett. I mean, he's not really completely different or anything, but there's a couple changes, his entrance music and stuff like that. And he seems to have a more, I guess, brutal attitude towards him. When he's talking to Fandango and says he's going to bust out all his teeth and stuff like that, I think they're trying to build him up as the brawler again. and I think it's working for him. I hope he can get over with this because I like it. But Barrett pushes Miz, so Miz gets up and hits the skull-crushing finale on Barrett. Fandango covers him, Miz counts 3, and Fandango gets the win. Afterwards, Fandango's dancing with Summer Rae. Miz kicks him, Summer Rae falls on him, and Miz counts 3 again. It was silly. Shawn Michaels, who was at the show for, I guess, the Bret Hart appreciation night they did after Raw, tells Cena he needs to think about this, and he told Triple H the same thing, but no one ever listens. And Cena says Shawn Michaels never listened either, and there's a "You screwed Bret" chant. It's Natalya's birthday, and 3MB threw the cake in Hornswoggle's face. So it's 3MB versus Brodus, Tensai, and Khali. I'm not sure how Tons of Funk got wrapped into all this, but Khali chops Slater. Brodus hits the splash for the win. Afterwards, Khali sings happy birthday to Natalya. Jericho's highlight reel with Paul Heyman. Heyman says that he doesn't just discover talent, he develops talent. And he also discovered and developed Chris Jericho, gave him his first big break, which I thought was cool they mentioned that. And Jericho wants to know what's up with CM Punk. This segment lasted a very long time. Long story short, Jericho doesn't think CM Punk should be able to call himself the best in the world when he's sitting at home for 6 weeks. So he wants a match with Punk at Payback, and Heyman accepts for CM Punk. That was pretty much it. The one thing I was wondering about is if CM Punk's at home for 6 weeks, which I know they want him to rest up because of his knee injury or whatever, why couldn't they take him off of TV after he did that shoot promo? Why did they have to bring him right back? But yeah, I mean, everybody's been saying that for a long time now. Kaitlyn and Natalya versus the Bellas. Kaitlyn's wearing a new revealing outfit, and she goes to spear one of the Bellas but hits Natalya. They throw her out of the ring, and the Bella covers Natalya for the win. Afterwards, they sing happy birthday to Natalya and mock her, call her a loser. Bret Hart tells Curtis Axel to get rid of Heyman, and Axel says, just because you knew my dad doesn't mean you know me. It's Orton and Sheamus versus Rhodes Scholars. Sheamus gets Sandow up like he's going for white noise. Cody hits the disaster kick on him. I thought it was a cool spot. Orton goes after Cody on the outside. Sheamus hits white noise on Sandow on the bro kick for the win. Another great tag match here, but it was your typical, predictable WWE finish. Cena versus Axel. Axel actually dominates Cena throughout this match, but they put it over. Of course, they have to say that it's because Cena was injured in the match with Ryback at Extreme Rules. So that's what they play it up as. And Axel hits a perfect plex, but Cena kicks out. And then an ambulance arrives, which was driving pretty damn fast, actually. And Cena goes to check it out, and he gets counted out and loses the match. And he's looking around the ambulance, and there's no one there. It was a ghost driver. And then he gets attacked from behind by Ryback, and Ryback tries to put him through the set again like he did at Extreme Rules, but Cena dodges and gets him up for the AA, but Ryback escapes and leaves. So that was pretty much Raw this week. And I have to say, I thought they did a good job this week. 3-hour shows are usually tough to get through, and I really didn't mind this one. So I was pretty entertained throughout the whole show. Even the Jericho-Heyman segment, it lasted a very long time, but I thought they both did a great job. I was interested. And yeah, I mean, they're doing this whole thing with Curtis Axel. He's beat Triple H, he's beat Cena. Not exactly by pin, but he's won the matches, so at least that's something. And they're really building this guy up. I just hope this doesn't end up being another Lord Tensai situation where Tensai beats John Cena to end Raw, and then he's now in Tons of Funk. I hope that doesn't happen with Axel, but we'll have to see what happens. I mean, the guy, it just feels like something's missing with him. And maybe they'll do a good enough job building him up that it'll work, he'll get over, but to me it still feels like something is just missing with Curtis Axel. But yeah, as far as Raw goes, pretty good show this week. I would say it was slightly above average. So anyways, that's my review of this week's Raw. I hope you guys liked the video. Leave your thoughts on this week's show in the comments, and thanks for watching.